Welcome back, everyone. Aces Premiership Countdown. The pig is coming in hot, and he needs to because there's a lot of question marks at Melbourne Footy Club with Track and Neil Bullen, and I'm going to ask him all about it. He's going to hate it. Don't you worry. He answers them, and they're fantastic. We get your Q&As. Finally, we got up on Instagram. All your questions are answered on this episode, and a few bold predictions with a ladder that we cannot predict coming your way. Tune in right here on Aces Premiership Countdown. This episode is proudly sponsored by KPI Construction Services. When it comes to construction sites, reliability and efficiency are key. That's where KPI Construction Services shines. With a single call, KPI provides a range of essential services, which includes labour hire, crane hire, and traffic control. KPI is a progressive business with modern plant and equipment across all of their operating states. Focusing on innovation and to avoid the business drifting is always front of mind. We are proud to be aligned with and have such a reputable company partnering with the show. Aces, I know I always go on about the RIXXs, but I got huge news. We have all our styles and colours restocked on the website right now. Get online, grab some sunglasses at rixxeyewear.com.au right now and use our little discount code ACES if you want a 20% discount code on the house.
All right, Tommy, let's get stuck into the podcast, mate.
Here we go. Welcome back, everyone. Aces Premiership Countdown, joined by Premiership player, All-Australian, and the great man, the pig, in the building. How are you, big fella?
Good, mate. How are you? Thanks for the intro. I've nearly forgot.
Yeah, well, All-Australian's been a bit of a topic this week, and I thought, who else can talk about that than none other than All-Australian himself?
Oh, I don't have much expertise in it. I fell into that team somehow, but what's the topic? It's still got 2 games to go. They usually announce it by now. Yeah. I remember when they told me there was still a game to go, and I'm like,
oh, really? They named it? Oh, they told you?
They rang me. Well, they hadn't named the bench yet, so. And I remember thinking, I want to play well because I've just told all my family I'm in. And what if I have a stinker and they take it away? They're like, nah, mate, you suck. Like,
that's because you would have played did you play every game that year?
No, I missed the first 4 games that year.
Geez, you must have had an unbelievable year.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
That's interesting, actually. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
No, usually, and like I remember, I think last year, I remember like Gorney knowing the week before. I didn't know that was how they did it, but yeah, they usually name the team. They already know. Like they have the mid-year catch-up, and I reckon they have one probably around now. They name the squad, or the 18, and then there's probably 4 that they're tossing up between on the bench that they don't name till after.
They release a squad at the end of the year, right?
They release the squad. Straight after the last game. So I reckon this week they'd know who the squad is.
The big one for me is Adam Treloar. Obviously, the great man, Ads and Dunks podcast. He's a part of the furniture here at Oz American Aces, but he was left out mid-season. He's had the best year ever, and he's the one that I am rooting for the most because he's never had one.
Well, he'll be in the squad. The thing is, and I think I mentioned this the other week, it's so hard to get into the midfield. He's not a winger. He's not a half forward anymore. He was playing half forward a little bit last year before, but he's a genuine mid now.
Is it a bench spot?
He could be.
If you can't argue with like a Brownlow medalist.
I think if he gets on, it'll be on the bench. He won't be in the starting mids because, like, think about the guys going for the Brownlow, like Dacos, Neil, Bontempelli, Cripps. Even though
Sarong.
I think he could beat Sarong. Think about that. Like, there's
but his season's been right up there.
Yeah, I know. I think he'll beat Bont in the best and fairest. Weirdly enough, but Bont will probably pull more in the Brownlow. And he's already an established name. Guys that have been named in the team previously always get right away. It's just how it's always happened. Like, Enright and Rance and these players, 5-time All-Australians. Stewart, even though probably young players have had better years than some, but they're not quite established yet. Like, they just find a way to get those guys in there. But I hope he gets in. He'd definitely be in the squad. There'd be no brainer.
I reckon there's going to be like 75% turnover from last year, maybe more.
That were into the team?
They were in last year that won't make it this year. Just a big turnover.
Oh, really? So new players.
I love
seeing because I think the Herald Sun might do it, but it'll be like 0 All-Australians first time or whatever. Like, I love seeing that. So
the big debate at the moment is key backs. It's mainly because of the injuries. We know Big Bruiser May, Alex Pearce, they've all had great years, but they haven't played the whole season. Sam Taylor is another one. I sent you the graphic.
Andrews had injuries.
These are the names that are on our 7AFL post here that I want to name, and there's a few missing. There's Wiedering, Andrews, Sam Taylor, Alir. You've got McCartan from Sydney, Sicily, McGovern. You've got Sam Collins, Alex Pearce, and Wilkie, and then question mark. And that's the question mark is who's missing on that graphic in your opinion? I'll go first. Jack Buckley for me.
Yeah, okay.
Jack Buckley's the most underrated back. The Giants are top 4. He's had to deal with Sam Taylor missing time due to his injuries, and you wouldn't even know. Charlie Curnow, when they played, kicked 2 goals on him late. That was when they were down by like 60-10, and they turned that around. So he's had performances that stack up, but he's someone that's underrated. And with that key position up for grabs, I reckon his name should be in there.
I think they've got it pretty good. Like there's 2 spots, 3 for a key back. Amazi was in there. I think he was named in the mid-season squad everyone had, but broke his ribs twice now. Missed a lot of games, dropped off a little bit. I can't really think of anyone else. I think in that team, how many Wiedering end up missing?
I don't know, but I reckon he's the one that stands out.
He's probably the one.
Like
McGovern has had such a good year, but he's in the 3rd bottom team or 2nd bottom team.
Barras is actually another one that hasn't been named.
Yeah. And Barras, yeah.
I guess when you're not winning, do they take that into account, you reckon?
Probably.
Where'd you finish when you were All-Australian? Where'd you finish?
We were 9th. Yeah.
Yep. And how many Dons blokes were in there?
Hurls, Paddy Ryder, Zach Merritt. So 3 players, yeah.
4 when you start. Well, you Dees then.
Dees
Oh, Dees. I thought you were the Dons then.
No, I was Dees.
Your first year back from...
Yeah, and I was the only one from the Dees that year, but enough about me, mate.
No, but it's interesting, All-Australian. Well, that means that our man Adzi might know if he's in or not. That's what you're telling me.
You'll find out next week if he's in. If he hasn't, that's all good. I was going to say a story. I'll leave it. It's not for the air, but
oh come on, you can't lead us into that.
No. Blue ball on you. Cut it out if you don't want it in.
Well, let's get into footy of last week and Olympia. I need to clear up. I made a mistake and I've copped it last week about the Jess Fox gold medal. I know, but
I said it on air, and I didn't back myself in to go hard enough.
I wish you did, mate, because I sound like an absolute clown.
Yeah, I left you.
You know where I was coming from, right? It was in that one event, though. I was talking about that event that she hadn't got gold.
Yeah. Is that what you're talking about?
That was what I was thinking.
You said she hasn't won a gold medal. I'm pretty sure she won one last time.
Mate, I had this graphic. I swear it must have been on that. But anyway, the feedback was firm, and we love it. Plenty of aces got in the comments and we're just like, turn it up, Tommy.
I was thinking she's the flag bearer. You can't be throwing the flag bearer out there if you haven't
Absolute
won a goal.
Absolute my end. And then I think the great man, Dommy Tyson, shout out to Clutch & Co, use aces for a little cheeky discount there. I think that's still going. But Dommy texts me and goes, mate, you've had a mare. I think the week before I stuffed up the basketball. Saying we don't even know who he is. He played 15 years at the Bulls.
Where are we at?
Oh, mate, we're nowhere.
We're supposed to be a sports podcast. We know nothing about footy. We haven't given our listeners one winner all year, and you don't even know if the flag bearer of the Olympic team has a gold medal. You're absolutely nowhere, and you're crushing this podcast. I'm keeping it. My shoulders are sore.
I know, mate. Tape them up because I'm going to need you for 5 more weeks. But mate, at least we acknowledge it. Hand in the air. It's we're all accountable here, but. Yeah, apologies to all those people that listened and watched that were a bit annoyed. We got around the Fox sisters, but the Aussies have done well. And I reckon you were first on the scene. We won't talk about it too much. It's been done to death, but the breakdancing, the breaking, our poor girl has copped it. And I reckon you were the first one on that. You were saying, stop that, give me a spell.
Stop that. And I'm calling this was deliberate. I reckon she did this on purpose because she did a dance after the closing ceremony, and everyone was like, "Why didn't she dance like that in the comp?" I'm saying she's going to get called to Tonight shows in America and all these gigs now because everyone knows her name. Yeah. Like I'm saying, there's no way in the qualifiers she danced like that and qualified for the Olympics. It was hilarious.
The kangaroo thing. The
one.
Where you sling your legs in the hands together.
But I feel bad for breakdancers that are actually, take it seriously and they wanted it to be a sport in America and all that. And poor old Aussie, Rangmang or what's her name, Ranman. she's taking the piss a little bit, I think, and now everyone's bagging it.
Ray Gun, yeah.
Ray Gun, Ray Gun, I thought it was. Ray Gun.
What's the Instagram today? I was looking at her Instagram because I love watching when people go viral, just the growth. It's just fun to watch.
How many followers has she got?
So she's up to 119,000 and she was at 13,000 about 5 to 6 days ago. And it's been going, and it'll continue going up. And she has not posted yet. I'm kind of like, you should post, but she's probably got to manage 25,000 comments on her last post where she wrote, "Don't be afraid to be different. Go out there and represent yourself. You never know where that's going to take you, Ray Gun." And some of the comments, man, it's a brutal world out there. But there's a lot of support as well, and I hope she doesn't read half of them.
Nah, I think she's embraced it from what I've seen with videos and stuff of her. She could be the next Hock Tour girl because she's gone up to about 4 million followers now.
Hock Tour's everywhere. In fact, I've got a present for you. I forgot to bring it. I've got
the Hock Tour shirt.
I've got 2 Hock Tour hats. I meant to bring them, and I'm like, fuck, I've left it at home. It cost me a bomb, man.
Mate, that's the best.
And they took about a month to get
wear them
it.
anywhere apart from in here.
Nah, in here or maybe on the piss one day, privately yours.
But she didn't post for ages after that, and then got a manager and that, and now she's just gone gangbusters. Oh, Ray Gun might be doing the same thing.
Ray Gun will get it. If you're doing say an Entourage, you know how good Entourage is. They have those little cameo appearances. You know, Tom Brady was in there, and I think who was the UFC boxer, the chick at the time. She was
Ronda Rousey. Are you comparing Ray Gun to Tom Brady and Ronda Rousey?
But I reckon if she slotted into one of those little cameo roles in something like that, everyone would go, "Oh, that's the breaker."
Imagine if you're having a 21st or 50th or something, and you just get Ray Gun to start dancing. No, that'd be hilarious. Hey, I got a special guest tonight, guys. Hold your applause. I got Ray Gun. Hey.
And all the Aussies in the how good was it when they would just get her on the shurs and they were all bowing down to her? That was great.
Anyway.
Very good. Well, mate, speaking about the Olympics, we've got to wrap it up. But it was more about next year, or not next year, in 2028, what the events will be. I think breaking's done, but Los Angeles, it says here on my little graphic, hopefully this is true, but it says there'll be 6 new sports: cricket,
yes,
baseball and softball, squash, lacrosse.
Lacrosse would be cool.
Yeah,
Americans are going to win that. America have a choice.
Flag football.
So they get a choice, I think.
Well, they must, because they're all sports they're going to absolutely dominate.
Lacrosse and, cricket they're not.
Yeah, except
cricket they definitely won't. Softball and baseball.
Cricket will be exciting though, wouldn't it? Like
cricket will be all right. I thought they were.
It'd be a 2020 format, you'd think.
Mate, as if in Brisbane in 2032 or whatever, can we pick our own sports? As if we don't just pick a footy.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you want to play some of these Americans, man. They're some big boys. They're probably going out there to hurt some blokes.
Yeah, but we're killing them, surely.
Yeah, we are. But I don't think, what do you need to play? What was the AFLX? You'd have to bring that back.
Yeah, I didn't play in that.
I played that once.
Did you?
Yeah.
How'd you go?
Huge. 3 kicks. Thought I was grouse. Went home, hardly touched it. The game was over before you blink.
You got paid though, did you?
Oh, mate, back then I didn't look. Would have blown it that off season.
A drop in the ocean, was it?
No, it wasn't. Man, I just had no idea. But let's talk football about last week. There's a lot to get through. And by the way, everyone watching, listening, we're going to split these up into 2 as we've been doing, but we've got a lot of your questions for the second half and the footy coming up. We've read a bit of feedback. We want a bit more footy. So today we're going to go heavy football because it is getting to the business end, and this is where we'll probably start asking Hibbo some more serious questions, our special expert here next to us. But, mate.
Special, all right.
What do you make of the weekend? Because I'll tell you, I've got to stop that for myself, and then we'll talk about it later. Maybe it's a tipping because I'm not doing it anymore. I
tipped 7, I think.
What?
Yeah, I told you, man. I'm going against what I think, and it wins.
Oh, mate, you would have made that much coin if you backed them on Sportsbet.
No betting, but I told you. Remember
7?
I think I tipped 7. Yeah, I got 2 wrong, which was Collingwood, who should have won.
Oh,
and then Essendon
against the Suns. I reckon you tipped the Suns. Anyway, that is 7. I got 3, and I tipped Adelaide just because I needed to climb. I was like, I'm done.
Melbourne, who lost by a kick. Yeah, I tipped Melbourne.
Oh, yeah, they nearly won.
They should have won.
Jeez, it was a huge game. They play a standard of footy that you can talk about later because I got a few questions. Neil Bullen, we got Petrarca news. Don't worry, I'm going to pepper the pig later.
I know nothing.
What did you make of it though?
Which, the games?
I think what's the game that stood out for you the most? There was a couple. I mean, there was a few.
Wow.
There's more than a couple. There's probably
I
five.
think the Gold Coast, you know what stood out for me? Saturday night, because watching the Melbourne game, Essendon game, they were both on at the same time. I was at a 50th. I was just watching them both on a TV, and I was like, Saturday night footy, and there's a kick in both. So, and both teams that lost should have won. That's what stood out for me. Collingwood should have won. They got run down like Jesus.
I literally posted our clip at halftime.
I know, you keep doing that to me.
Well, mate, we only get 3 clips. So I'm like, shit, I should have posted that before the game. And they're up by 28 points. I said, beautiful. Here we go. We look like superstars. And then they got rolled. I'm going, oh, you're got to be. And then everyone's like, how you going, boys? And in the comments, I just wrote, look, we just do the opposite. You know that? Do the opposite.
Yeah, no, it was exciting. It's so good that every week feels like there's a lot of upsets. Who knows who's going to get in the finals? It's Carlton losing again.
Carlton's in trouble, man.
Big time. Hawthorn.
Have you seen the injury list?
And Hawthorn, they both have real winnable games. I think they're both playing the bottom.
I don't think they're winnable. Like, they go to West Coast now after 2 wins, West Coast, right? And they've lost their 2 key forwards, all their halfback. Mate, they're in a lot of trouble, Carlton. I don't. We'll get to our tips later, but I haven't seen that many injuries in such a short time
against Carlton this week.
Yeah, mate, they've lost. They'd be up and about West Coast after what even that. I haven't even seen the last. I actually need to catch up on that game because I just watched it I was watching something else at the time. Mate, North Melbourne were up by like 2.5 goals or something, and with a minute 20 to go, West Coast come back and gone bang. And you've tipped them.
Yeah, well, hey, genius. But it's just good. It's good to watch. And I was thinking on the way in here, like, imagine Hawthorn this year, right? If they were 0-5.
Yeah, there's only been 2 teams in the history that have done it, and they're going to be the third if they make it.
What, to the finals?
To make the finals.
Oh, no, they'll make the finals.
Make or win a final, it was the graphic I saw.
I think, imagine if they won the flag. It'd be the best story ever.
They've got to be top. They're going to be the top 4 teams in the competition.
They're the informed team of the whole comp.
Yeah.
Brisbane lost on the weekend. Yeah.
To the Giants. Giants rolled them in the last quarter. But that's a game that I reckon we'll see in a prelim again.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Oh, that was your takeaway, just the Saturday night.
Well, that and just the anyone can win. Like,
what about
like Adelaide beating the Dogs, man?
Adelaide's better than people think, man.
Yeah,
they just haven't had a good start.
Dogs were the informed team of the comp. Like, they were rolling teams, playing well, really good brand of footy. Adelaide over there, like, this just shows that on any week, I don't know what the frig I'm talking about because of everything that
it's hard this year. It's got to be the hardest year ever, isn't it?
Has to be.
And the one year we decided to try to be serious.
Yeah, try and
a couple of $60s.
Just hand away our coin.
We've had a couple of weeks spell. I've decided because we've got something exciting coming up.
Do we?
Well, we've got a little opportunity coming with Sportsbet where people might be able to jump on and follow our bets instead of putting up these graphics on Instagram. But I'll leak it to our loyal APC listeners. But you can put up our specials and compare, and punishments will be back for finals. So stay tuned for that. It might even be next week. But
went to the gym before too. I'm not doing the same things as I went to do. I burnt 200 calories and just left.
Do you appreciate the 1,500 now?
No, it's huge.
That's what when I come in with
200. I was like,
when I come in with 4 bottles of water, you were taking the piss out of me. I reckon I still cramped till 3 a.m.
Carry on though. If I got through 15, I'm putting a brave face on.
Mate.
I'm not walking in, beating the sweat off my head. And
you haven't done 1,500 an hour before a podcast, have you? Mate, I was running low. The batteries were low. Hey?
You did well to get through it, to be honest. But anyway, what else we got?
I just want to talk about Essendon last quarter. Let's just be serious here because I've got my take, but you'd have your take as well. They've had about 20 inside 50s, right? They missed a lot of set shots. Mm-hmm. But there's scenarios in games, and you do a lot of study. People don't realise how much study you actually do as a team from preseason and even the years on a list. It's AFL football is not just physical; it's a lot between the ears. What do you think Essendon lack in those last 5 minutes, of those quarters against a team like Gold Coast who haven't won a game on the road? They're peppering them with inside 50s. They've got numbers everywhere shallow. They're going deep when they've got, balls out, options like their captain in a pocket. We've all seen clips, but they had just so many things that were going wrong when they shouldn't. What do you put it down to?
Leadership probably is the first thing that comes to my mind. Zach Merritt's unbelievable leader. Dawson Heppel didn't play on the weekend. Players that have been in those moments, we used to spend so much time on 3 points up, 2 minutes to go, 3 points down, 2 minutes to go, and how you'd react and what you'd do in those situations. They probably do that as well. Like most teams do it. You've probably done it. But you really rely on your leaders with 2 minutes to go, pressure's on. The crowd's going bananas. You're up, making good decisions under pressure. So, and having good leaders, every player has a part to play in that, but having good leaders just makes you calm down a little bit. And it's little things like kicking the ball wide, trying to create more stoppages, being in the right position, winning crucial contests. I think there was a couple late where a lot of players would want their time back, getting the ball out of bounds, just resetting the ground. And that comes down to, one, playing your role in that situation, but mainly having good leaders out there that know where because there's going to be a couple of players that don't know where they're supposed to be. They've got a lot going through their head. They forget, I don't remember doing this in the meeting. I've had a big game, and you get fatigued and you forget stuff. So having leaders out there to be able to straighten you up, go, hey, you're supposed to be here. This is what we're doing. This is where the hit's going. I think it comes down to that for me.
Who was that at Melbourne?
We had a lot in the back line. We had mature guys, Maisie, Jakey Lever. In the midfield, Gorney, Vines, Track. In the forward line, Jakey Melksham is probably the best at setting his teammates up. It was a young forward line. Trying to think of another. Alex Neil-Bullen. We had good people on every line that were very good at communicating, very good leaders in every line that would be able to set up the backs. Maisie and Rick, perfect examples. Be able to set up everyone. Look around. Yeah, you're in the right spot. You're in the right spot. I know what to do. If we win the ball, we're kicking here. That's where the numbers are going to be. And we had obviously the ruckman who's doing the tap. Hey, the ball's going to go here. It's simple. Make sure we create more stoppages. And then obviously the forwards that were setting up the forwards. So when you don't have those players on the track, little mistakes happen and they create losses.
It was hard to watch, man. As I said, I've grown up Essendon. You played there. My family's been just starved of, so has all the members. But I was watching the Essendon game and I was like, do they realise that Gold Coast could potentially win this? And it was at some point where I was like, Gold Coast can't even get it past halfway. But if Essendon go real defensive, which they did, they put Langford behind the ball and it's all of a sudden they had the spare and it's like, oh, now they're past halfway. They're peppering this ball in. And I won't name players because they know who they are and everyone can watch their own tape. But there's players out of position a couple times in a row and it's like, switch on. You know what I mean? Like roll up. Everyone knows, leave the loose deepers, get the ball out of bounds, get a stoppage. Like, and it annoys me because it doesn't take much. It's literally what you just said. It's pointing. It's a bit of leadership and it's on everyone. But if someone's not doing it, like just do it for that last 2 minutes. And in the end, Gold Coast, we flip it now and we go to Mac Andrews and like what an unbelievable moment. And a bloke that I reckon you probably want having the ball because he's got that, puts the chest out and shushing the crowd. Like that is everyone's dream.
He just got through too.
I think I saw a graphic. Giants have never had a player kick a goal after the siren to win it for their club.
Really?
Yeah. They had this graphic up. And I think Essendon's copped 3 in the last 3 years, which is brutal.
I don't know if I've played. I've played in one where it happened to us. I don't reckon I'm trying to think if someone's kicked one after. So Melky kicked one with like 30 seconds to go. Cozzy kicked one with like 10 seconds to go. I don't think they mark after the siren.
After the siren's different though, isn't it? Because you hear it and then all of a sudden the crowd goes, ooh.
Hooksy kicked one with about a minute to go one time. Heaps of big ones, but none after the siren.
I didn't play. I wish I did, but the Dave Mundy one would have been unbelievable to be at that one. That's the one that brings
Tommy Hawkins one stands out to me. He kicked it from like 60 or
against
50.
Hawks?
Yeah, that was huge. That's iconic.
Yeah.
But yeah, great weekend of footy.
Great weekend of footy. Well, let's get to our tipping leaderboard. This is where it gets. You want to talk about
tip 6, by the way, not 7.
6. I was going to say 7, but this is where you get nervous because you get a week like last week, and I reckon most people would have averaged 3 or 4. And all of a sudden, I mean, this tipping competition's at the end. There's only 2 weeks to go. and Janksky 13 has held on by 1, but Bailey Watkins is right up the clacker on second with 5. Looking at all our top 12, no one tipped over 6. Only one person tipped 6. Sorry, 2 people did. But everyone else, 5, 4, and 3. Such a tough week. So that our American Aces tipping competition, if you're in it and you're in the lead, I'm going to start asking you to slide into the Instagram DMs and find out what team you go for so we can get you a signed jersey of your favourite player or team, and hopefully it's one of the ones we've already got. But yeah, that's shaping up to be a cracker. So very good, mate. I'm very excited. Well, we did talk briefly about the Olympics, but what were some of the mate? What were the highlights for you? Just the last few days, or since we last spoke? We obviously spoke about the Fox sisters, but there's been a lot that's happened since.
Oh, I love the track and field. I think we spoke about it. That maybe the track and field and the swimming and the weightlifting and all that stuff is probably all that it should be in the Olympics, but I love the track and field. The 200 metres was awesome. All expecting Noah Lyles to win and him coming third, then going off in a wheelchair because he had COVID. Geez, that made me laugh. Like, are you serious?
How about the carry-on pre-race?
Yeah, as soon as he lost, and then he's getting wheeled off in a wheelchair.
And then you see the video of him partying, going wild, dancing.
Man, nah, that's it is
a bit weird though. Like, the 100 would have been way harder than winning the 200 if you looked at his previous history. So people are hating on him for no reason.
Like you don't go in a wheelchair after because you've just ran 200 metres and because you got COVID. Like, come on. Is that a mistake or what?
Oh, they're built differently. They're built differently, these blokes.
If you lose, you lose. You put your hand up. Hey, if I was fit to run, I'm running. And you don't go in a wheelchair and say, I only lost because I was...
You fake a hammy?
I saw something the other day about, it was when Michael Johnson and this guy were competing against each other. And it was just a one-on-one. It was at some track. They must have done it for charity or whatever. And they were talking each other up, hating on each other. And then Michael Johnson was clearly going to lose and just pinged a hammy. I'm like, I'd do that.
Just to say, oh, buddy, what could have been?
Maybe because it did be hammy. You know?
Who's someone at the Dees want to do that?
Big Bruiser, probably.
Amazing. Is he got a big ego, the Big Bruiser? Like on the bench press, if some young kid come in and just beat him, would he say,
sore neck,
shoulders cooked, dummy,
screw his face together and go, a bit sore. Well, we had a few guys in time trials that one guy passed out, and we used to do 4 1Ks on the 8 minutes, and they were pretty brutal. Like you go out, balls and all. And then 8 minutes, do it again. Sounds like a big break because you get 4 and a bit minutes or whatever. But we had one bloke pass out, but then 2 minutes later he was fine. But I don't reckon he passed out. He was just exhausted and just fell down and just kept going. I'm not going to name the bloke, but you'd know who he is. Yeah, I thought that was one of the
good. Give us 3 names.
Nah, I'm not going to do it.
Well, we can play. You don't have to tell me the answer. Just give me 3.
You won't get it, I don't reckon.
Yeah,
You'll
just
know.
Give us 3 so we can all pretend. We can all know that one of them is that bloke.
Not playing this game. I've named names on the show before, and I've been let down on the afterwards with the shorts.
The shorts. So that's Brado's fault, mate. That's not me.
Nah, you have something to do with it. I don't know.
Well, what else have you been up to, by the way? I've got a couple more.
What I've been into, and this is why my mates goes, "Geez, you're getting old, aren't you?" I've been gardening. I've been doing some gardening.
Yeah, you've been doing some renos.
Well, it's just more sort of cosmetic stuff to the front yard, and I've been planting veggies and doing a bit of gardening. I know, it's keeping me off the piss, which is...
No, it's not.
Yeah, no, it hasn't. I'm still having piss while I do it.
I love it.
That's me, man. I haven't been doing much.
Working and gardening.
Working, gardening,
family.
Kids. Had a 50th on the weekend, as I said, and watched the footy. And that, mate, but...
That was the 50th. Anyone bring up the potty?
Couple of people. Someone said something to me about the pod that we should talk about, but I've had too many beers, I forgot. So.
Well, there you go. Maybe tell them to reach out again in the DMs.
I will. What about you?
Trying to think.
We're supposed to do this at the start of the show.
Yeah,
that's what happens when you don't bring in a run sheet.
I just thought we've got that many questions to get through, and we've got a bit more going.
Well,
that's in part 2.
No one wants to hear about us.
That's part 2 coming up, mate. But I've got something else. We're going to do our RIXX eye catcher before we get into our questions.
We don't even have an eye catcher.
Well, we do have an eye catcher. We've got a couple, but I've got a little treat for you.
Oh, yeah.
RIXX has our brand new colour First colour of the whole year. And I get a bit nervous with you because I don't know what kind of taste you're in. This could go either way.
This could be pitch.
Or it could be the grouse. But I've got a present for you and I've been waiting to give it to you. You're probably the fourth person that's seen these. These are brand new.
Fourth.
They land on the 19th, but you're going to get access to them right now. So
Dude,
brand new colour here for you, mate. I'll let you just pull them out and put them on and let me know what you think. I'm a bit nervous.
What do we got here? What colour is this?
It's the steel blue.
Mate, love them. These are the grouse. I was gonna take the piss and go, mate, they're puke. No, but these are sick.
Oh, that's great. I love that you like them. That's the Soho. I've got the Melrose.
Mate, I don't think they're a large, but they actually fit me large pill quite well. So we love that.
Yeah, that's right.
What do you got there?
I've got the Melrose steel. So it's a crystallized blue. They're polarized lenses and they're online very soon. Pretty excited, mate. First colour for the year.
I was told the other day I need to wear polarised a bit more too because I've got those things in the middle of the eye. What are they called? I don't know, when they're too much sun. So it look good. So as long as they're polarised, I'll wear them. Yeah, polarised good for the fishing and reflections and all that, but nylon's good as well. Anyway, RIXX eye-catching moments. We've got a couple here. Okay, what do we got? What I've got is something a bit different, but Nikola Jokic, the big man. You got to love him, don't you? He's the best. He probably should be the MVP. Bronze medalist. I've never seen him carry on. He looks so proud and so excited. So he should. But he's also won championships in the NBA and he hasn't carried on like that. But what caught my eye was only 24 hours after celebrating, he was at the trots. He was at the trots the next day in the winner's circle and he was having a couple of beers at the harness. He was watching the harness racing. Not even the thoroughbreds, the trotters. No, the trots, not the thorough, the trots. Is he a degenerate or is he the man? He is the man. Is he the king degenerate? Have a look at him too in the photo. It just looks like he looks like your uncle. You know what I mean? He's a bit fat. He's a bit fat, which we love. Yeah, he's being a good paddock. He's that good at basketball, and he's probably got 1,000 harness horses that run around. He sits there and has a beer in a little private section. I just thought that is eye-catching stuff. 24 hours after the Olympics, probably had a few beers with his teammates, no doubt, because he loves them. Does he love having a beer? I don't know. Loves having a beer. Yeah, we loves having a beer. There's a video of him just cracking a beer, walking back to his seat, acknowledging a couple of fans and watching the next race of the harness. What a great man. How much would you pay to just sit there next to him, have a quaddie with him in Serbia on the harness and just a few frothies? He wouldn't be buying a drink. I'd be buying plenty of his I reckon he would be the guy that would just go, no, I'll buy them. He just looks like a genuine bloke. He's very well liked in a lot of circles, that bloke, from what I've seen. All right, can I go? So the Joker's me eye catcher, the RIXX eye catcher this week. I just thought that's outstanding stuff. What do you got, mate? This is a good one, man, and it's typical because in the diving there's 8 gold medals, right? And in the table tennis there's 5. And can you have one guess about who won those gold medals? China. China won 5 out of 5 golds in Paris for table tennis and 8 out of 8 in diving. That is amazing. And I don't know about you, and this is eye-catching for me because I love watching the diving. It's one of my favourites. They literally don't splash. You could throw a piece of paper and it would splash more than what that Chinese guys do when they dive into a pool, and girls, sorry. That was eye-catching for me. Did you watch any of it? I did, yeah. And in the archery, 5 out of 5, South Korea. So the South Koreans, really? They know the bow and arrow. They love it. So that was eye-catching for me, mate, and loved it. And we love the Olympics here. Oh, we do. We're obviously going to talk about footy soon. But so they've won all the diving and all the table tennis awards, men, female. Yeah. That's crazy. Isn't it? That is crazy. Men's team, mixed team, women's singles, men's team, men's singles. That's in the table tennis. Then the 3 metre, 10 metre platform, 3 metre, the sinks. I thought the world would be better than that. I thought someone would knock them off for some gold in diving. I thought diving was more global. Yeah, well, everyone. Australia used to get gold in that, didn't they? Yeah, what was it, Mac Horton? He won a gold. He's a swimmer, isn't he? Yes, no. See, you wouldn't, mate. What?
No, swimmer. He's a swimmer.
Is he a swimmer?
Yeah, he's a swimmer.
Oh, isn't he? Oh, shit.
Yeah, I was going to say it.
No, there was a bloke. What was his name?
You're making me feel like I'm scared.
cut that out.
leave that in. Mac Horton, a diver.
There was an Aussie bloke though. I'll look it
There
up.
was Mitchum or something?
Yep. That rings a bell.
Mitchum.
That's him.
That's
Mitchum.
him. So
We'll
there
just
you
go
go.
with
I'll
last
redeem
name.
Run it.
And you totally redeemed it.
Oh, very good. Well, yeah, a little bit of Olympic eye-catching stuff, but RIXX Eyewear have just dropped the brand new colour, steel, crystallised blue, polarised lenses, and they come in Melrose like I'm wearing, the Soho like Pig's wearing, and we also have them in Boston coming very soon. So, Pig, last thoughts on the new colour?
Big fan, mate. You sometimes, you come in with these fresh ones and you take them back. You ain't getting these ones back.
I love that. That's good. Well, we'll take the sunnies off. And
I do have a lot of RIXXs at the moment, thanks to
it's
you
good,
boys.
mate.
But
got to pay you with
these
something.
are good.
Matthew Mitchum.
Matthew Mitchum.
There you go.
Well,
RIXX.
it's definitely not Mac Horton, but it was Mitchum. I knew what you're putting down, mate. Same Ed, different haircut type setup. Or your questions on Instagram. We put up a little graphic this morning, and I can see Jake Malshin's put a couple. He's got 3 questions. There's been a lot of questions coming in late, and we're going to answer as many as them because we know that we've missed a heap.
Keep them PG.
We'll go through. It's obviously edited here, so we'll read them out. And if Brado thinks it's not worthy, we'll cut them out, and then we'll go to the games coming up and a little bit of a stop that to finish. But here we go. Let's get Jakey Melsham off the top. For the listeners at home, tell us the origin of the nickname Pig. He reckons you haven't told it properly.
Next question. I've told that story 1,000 times. Jesus Christ. What is this?
Jakey Melsham. I probably shouldn't be dogging him with the names.
No, probably leave
Is it true that Addy Pig has a lifetime Adidas deal?
Oh, man. I was sponsored by Adidas, obviously, from the first year of footy, and they stayed with me my whole career. And I just wear, because I'll wear the basic tees and blue jeans, black jeans. I'm a basic guy. I never lash out on clothes, but I used to wear Adidas kits to training every day because, you walk from your car to your locker, walk from your locker to your car, you go home. So I'd always be wearing just the Adidas kit. And he just called me Addy Pig all the time. And I'd walk into the locker room and he'd go, "Oh, Piggy in the Adidas." Every day, man. Everyone used to think it was the funniest thing. I just
We've got to get Melky on, man. I reckon he could be a good little addition finals.
He's funny. He's funny. But he just rag on me the whole time. So, no. Go on, next.
One more from Jakey. Where's your chin gone, rookie champ? You like that one?
Oh, every time I look at the bottom of my chin's, it's doubling or going missing. So that's funny. That's bullying.
Oh, it is bullying. Oh, Melky, we love it. We love it. Keep them coming. Darren Clark. What is the Pig and Train's go-to cure for a hangover? Pig would be a zinger box type operator, I reckon.
What is this?
Mate, I'm going from the top to bottom here.
What I do, if after a big night, before I go to bed, and it's annoying because I'll have to get up and go to the toilet or whatever, I'll guzzle as much water as I can. Probably Hydrate if I've got time. Sometimes you can't be bothered doing that. And it's a Barocca every morning. It's simple. And then I'm a brekkie burger in the morning or a toasted sandwich. You feel a bit yuck, but I'm always just got to be hydrated. The night before, you got to hydrate yourself. It's not the next day. You wake up, and you've got cotton mouth, and you get a drink in the middle of the night, and you got a glass next to you. It doesn't matter if it's been there for a month. You'll drink that. You'll drink that glass of water. But Barocca the next day, and then obviously keep the fluids out.
Yeah, Barocca, man, that's a real old school operator. No Hydrolite tablets.
Well, it's both. I'll do a Barocca and it's hot. If I've got Hydrolite in the house, which usually I do, I'll do that as well. But,
nice. Yeah, love it.
But obviously late in the hour, it's because I've got kids now, I try not to put myself in a situation like that because it's a long, long day.
Oh,
when you got 2 kids, man. So I don't drink as much and go home to bed as late as I used to back in my younger days, but I'll make sure I'm hydrated. Got to be up, you switched on with the kids, and you can't be eating kernel in front of the kids because you don't even get a bite. They're just taking your chips and everything. So, I usually get a toasted sanger or something from the local cafe. What do you do?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I kind of I try to do a little tacky. I try to do a little tactical before bed if I'm.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, because I try to get it up. Sometimes when I'm talking when we're absolutely blind. Not when I had a few beers or whatever, a couple glass of water, hydrolite in the morning, shouldn't be too bad. But if I'm seriously in trouble, and sometimes get a bit bloated from beer, I'll try have a tactical. If that doesn't work, if it's just normal and I'm all good and I go to bed, it's those little hydrolite tubes like a Zupa Duper. I'll put them in. I won't even put them in the freezer. Just liquid.
Just a liquid.
Just two of them.
Yeah, that's
and then
that's the same.
And then sometimes like I don't even eat. Like I just feel horrific.
Yeah, I feel like
I don't really put food in.
Greasy food is a cure though.
I don't really put food in until about midday.
Yeah,
after midday, and I'll just
yeah, you're probably waking up at 11:30.
Yeah, well, what else is there to do?
Anyway, next one. Come on, we're talking too long about drinking piss.
Righto, let's make some bold finals predictions. Set some punishments in advance. JT, it's not a bad idea. I reckon we'll screenshot that and we'll do that next week.
Yep. I reckon pre-finals we'll do our predictions of how it's going to look.
Or do we do that now because it's harder? 2 weeks out. Well, maybe at the end. Well,
it's a good question.
We'll bring that back, JT, 13. It's a good screenshot that. What's the best Mad Monday / footy trip story? From Will Fisher.
We know it's. I can't be telling.
We probably can't say it, Will. You don't understand that.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago, and off the top of my head, I don't know. There's heaps of them, but a lot of people that were involved probably don't want it out there in the public. But we spoke about the best places to go in Australia. We already talked about that. So if Will listens to our pod, he would know that, and that's all we're giving you right now, champion.
Oh, you've given him a champ. Aces final series betting. Poll on Insta for the best multi sent in from both of you, and we all back it. Well, love it. And that's going to be coming your way. That'll be good because we're going to have the account set up for that and we'll be able to just put them across and there'll be punishments for finals. Don't you worry about that. Benny Simpson, how did you guys even end up together on the podcast? Were you mates before?
Well, we knew each other. I'll tell this story. We knew each other through mates, and Gumby was probably a connector, a few other mates. I'd say we were acquaintances, mates.
A lot of mutuals.
Yeah, a lot of mutuals.
A lot of dirt on each other.
We bumped into each other at Boxing Day, and you get to have a few beers and you start agreeing to things, and Tommy's hit me up about the pod, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And then he's hit me up 3 weeks later. He's like, mate, we're doing it next week. I'm like, I thought you forgot. I thought that was his piss talk. And then next thing I'm sitting next to him every week.
I'm a man of his word. He's a man of his word as well.
I was like, I don't know, man. I got a bit on. He's like, you can't bail on me now. I was like, stuff it.
You're making me sound like a future operator.
Nah. But that's how it worked. We're talking on the piss, having a few beers.
Blind, mind you, I reckon.
And I genuinely nearly forgot about it. And then, you've hit me up about it. I'm like, let's do it. So that's how the story worked.
That's a good question there from Benny. Tyler Jack, what is that pooch thing growing on Pig's face under his nose?
This is getting out of hand. That
is unbelievable from Tyler Jack.
I reckon it looks all right.
I reckon it looks good, but I'm reading these for the first time, so I'm reading them all out, and we'll see how we go.
You don't have to read them all out, mate. That's what you were supposed to filter. You can't leave it up to Brado. I'm just absolutely getting reamed.
Well, they love you. It's a sign of love.
There's about 8 of you, about your head on there too.
I'm starting.
He's just not reading them out. This is bull.
Oh, you've saved the shit, have you? The bull. Pig, give us the rundown of the Dees at the moment. It is pooch scenes at the moment.
It's ugly.
Archie Allen.
It's hard to watch, and it's 2 games out knowing you can't play finals. It's not a good spot to be in.
Oh, footy trip.
Yeah, well, they don't have them anymore. It used to be great. You plan your footy trips, plan your off seasons, but it's not good. And there's been a bit going on at the club at the moment, so it's it wouldn't be a good place to go on a Monday after a loss on the weekend that they should have won and kept their chances alive. Anyway,
love it. Hoopsy, is Tommy paying Hoopsy royalties every time he uses the word the grouse?
Who's Hoopsy?
Ryan Hullan, he's a good man.
Oh, yeah.
He does love the word grouse.
Oh, he right that in.
He reckons he wants royalties because we use it so much.
Probably should.
They love it. I wonder how many other people. Was it a common word at the footy club? Because I felt like when I was in WA, all the South Australian and WA people had never heard of it.
Nah, not really. Me and Malky used to say pooch all the time. Everything's pooch. So that is a common word. And then it filtered around to a few of the boys, but not the grouse. And I do like it. I think it is the grouse.
Port Colts, we miss you.
I haven't been down there a lot. Yeah, is that them?
That is from their football club page.
I've been busy, so I haven't really been popping down as much as I probably should have. So
was it a sign-on fee, play your minimum games or something, is it?
No, not that. Work got in the way. Had a little niggle. Didn't want to make my injury worse. Still a few little niggles.
Just on the Port Colts, do they have the best players in the league?
And they're going all right.
Who else they got going down there? Who else is playing down there?
Swanee, Caddy, Tommy Bell, Chambers.
You're down there?
Yeah.
Will you pop back for finals?
I don't think work will permit it. So,
gotcha. That makes sense.
But they were out and they were gone, and the boys beat second and third in a row, so they're alive. They need to win this week to make the five.
Oh, good luck, boys.
We're heading down there to watch the lads on the weekend.
Swanee be having 40, wouldn't he?
I think he's been going quite well, yeah. Off
good.
No sleep from all report.
Any chance of you blokes hosting a live episode of the show during finals?
I'm all for that.
You're all for it?
Find time to do it.
You good for that?
How would that work? I don't know, but yeah.
That's from Ferguson. Ferguson, if you're listening, can you then get in contact with us and tell us the perfect time for that? Ask a few of your mates. We'd love to know. Put a little poll up, and then me and Pig can. Maybe it could be like
we must do this live. We don't edit it that much anyway.
No, we don't. We'll be editing half of these questions out though. Joshy Locke, from a fan point of view,
he's part of something.
Actually, Joshy Locke was our. I think we gave him a pump up on the tipping. I haven't seen him in the top 100 these days.
Locke, I've heard that before.
Yeah, because he was leading the tipping for 10 weeks. All right, Joshy Locke, from a fan point of view, your favourite footy moment?
Favourite footy moment?
Mine was James Hird when I was a kid.
That's far out.
As a kid.
As a kid? My earliest memory of footy, because my old man, Big Carlton, was the 95 grand final. I was so young. So that's like nearly the earliest positive memory I've had in my life, outside of playing, obviously. You know what?
What about other footy moments? So I'll tell one. Like, I went down to Windy Hill as a young kid, and like, I thought I was pretty handy, and I was kicking some unbelievable goals from the boundary line at Windy Hill, and everyone left, and it was starting to get dark, and there's only one bloke left with me, and it was this other guy. He was a bit older than me. I think I would have been at 12, and he was about 16. It turns out his grandfather was the boxing coach at Essendon, and he's like, mate, do you want to? Because I just had a jersey, the one that had the 3 mobile, and and he's like, do you want to get some signatures on that jersey? Because he couldn't believe. Yeah. I was kicking a few, and he's like, mate, you're actually not bad. And then I go, oh yeah, like, and I would not stop. He's like, mate, can I kick with you? And then we kept kicking. It was getting dark. Once it started getting dark, he's like, do you want to come inside and meet a few of the players? And that was and I went, and my old man was waiting, and my mum and sisters went up the road and got a, I think Max, remember Max's Pizzas? You go there? Yeah, the wood-fired pizzas. So he's like, we'll meet you up there. He's going to go in there and meet a few of the players. And Sheedy was coaching, and I remember, like, I would have been 11 or 12, and I remember going in there, and he goes, follow me, and I got to I got literally to the shower point. I was like, far out, and all the boys go, who the fuck is this bloke? And then he goes, oh mate, I got half the jumper sign, and then he goes, I'll go get the rest, and he finished it off. So when I went to Max's Pizzas, man, I had every signature on my jersey.
That's awesome.
So I reckon that was one of my favourite footy moments as a kid, and something I'll never forget, and that's something that I always tried to. When you see young kids and you're playing, that was like, boys, like, what, or girls, what do you want me to do? Let me try make your day, because that was something that, for me, I'll never forget.
I was similar. I remember, I think we were on a school camp, and we went and we're staying near the Melbourne Zoo, and it was right near Optus Oval or whatever, Icon Park or whatever, and we went to a Carlton training session, and I'm pretty sure it was school. And I remember going and training and just leaning over the fence, high-fiving my favourite players. Cooter was one of them. I named my dog Cooter. Like, everything was 43 growing up. Like, and I remember getting a photo with him. I don't know where that photo is now. I'll see if I can try to track it down. But same thing. And I remember in my career, I was the same. I'd always try and make sure if someone wanted an autograph, photo, high five, give a bit of time, because even though I was never Anthony Koutafidis, you just don't know the impact it can have on kids. So
yeah, well said. And great question, Joshy. Loved it. Something different. A few more to go here. We've got thoughts on track from Timmy Knight. I'll ask the pig about that later on. Actually, you know what? We'll just address it now. Why not? Timmy Knight's a great support of Aces. Thoughts on track? Is it just rumours and media, and he's obviously one of the biggest names, and they can see the Dees? It's just, they're not in the 8, so it's an easy one for these journos without the source, a name attached. Or do you think he's generally pissed off?
Well, I don't know. I'll start with that. I haven't spoke to Track about any of this kind of stuff. I checked in on him after his surgeries and after his injury and stuff, and I know it was pretty traumatic for him. And I was saying this, I haven't spoke to him about it, but I know that it was pretty traumatic where at the point, I believe he had to speak to his family because it was a pretty serious surgery and stuff. So that would play a toll. I don't know where he's at in terms of like whether he wants to leave. That would have shocked me before the injury because he was such a big Melbourne person, positive guy in the leadership group, real spark in that locker room and loves all the players and the coaches. I don't know if it's changed now. Like at the end of the day, he's contracted for another 5 years and he's
2029, isn't it?
untouchable. So I don't know. If he wants to leave, he'd really have to want to leave bad because he'd nearly have to give up his contract because I don't think Melbourne would be pretty stubborn on that. Like he's untouchable. So
He'd be their most important player on the list.
yeah, at that age,
That contract, that age.
yeah.
Gorney's important, but he's not as young as
Gorney's a
Track.
bit older. He'd be nearly 32 now. I think he would be 32. So I can't see him leaving, but. The thing is with these things, you get a little bit upset, a little bit disgruntled. If he is, not saying he is, don't know, but it goes away pretty quick. You let the dust settle at the start of the pre-season, this will all be forgotten. And
The boys don't forget, though.
Nah, yeah, I know, but I don't reckon they say anything. I just think that he'll get back to the club. He hasn't been there. He took a bit of a break after his surgeries and stuff. Fair enough. He'll be back there next year and. It'll be all forgotten because they're not going to get rid of him. So it's. I think the only thing is he hasn't made a statement about it. We're speaking on Wednesday night here. He hasn't addressed it, but the club have saying that he's contracted. Not that he's. I don't think they dismiss the fact that maybe he has been frustrated, which I found a bit odd. If he was like. Stood on the table and said, no, I didn't say that, or I don't feel like that, you'd think someone would have addressed that by now, not just saying for the fact that he's contracted. So I thought that was a bit weird, but he's not going anywhere anyway. That's my thoughts on it. I don't know. I haven't spoke to him, but yeah.
Alex Neil-Bullen has announced that he'll be departing, I think I saw. He's going to go back to South Australia.
Yeah.
I can't remember a time a player has done that in the AFL. In the NRL, it's normal. They sign contracts with other teams and they know it's going to be their last year. But I can't remember a player kind of saying they're done at the end of the year with 2 rounds to go. Normally it's kept under wraps, even though everyone's thinking it, and then it'll come out as soon as the season's done, post Mad Monday kind of week, and then they'll disconnect from the group, and that's when those kind of conversations and those speculations come out. But it's public knowledge.
Just off the top of my head, I reckon there was one last year with a game to go and they didn't get picked. They weren't playing finals. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah. That's a
or
different
2.
scenario,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That's like a Lukosius has just been dropped, even though he's contracted. He's being put up now, but it's a bit of a different one.
He's a different one, Nibbler, because he's
an important player, man.
Very important. Melbourne are out of finals now. It's a family issue. He's from Adelaide. His family are there. He's just had a young baby.
Gotcha.
So he needs support. That's my understanding. I haven't spoke to him, but he said it's for family reasons. And I know he's just become a dad and all of his family are in SA. They come over quite a bit. He's got a real supportive family. They're the best. They come to a lot of games. Big Melbourne supporters. So I'd assume it's him and his partner from SA need a bit of support. And the club have been awesome. There's 2 games to go and they've pretty much said thank you, Nibbler. He's one of the best leaders, hardest trainers and best teammates I've ever played with. So
he looks like it.
He's a ripper.
And he's half forwards people don't realise how hard they work.
Yeah, he's a funny man too. One of the first days I had a beer with him, it was like 3 weeks into the club. He's like, come to the Mountain View Hotel. And I'm like... I had a beer with him, 2 beers in, and there's a bloke walking around asking, people for money, homeless bloke. And he goes, mate, just tell him you've only got card. And I'm like, oh, sorry, mate, I've only got card. Because I didn't have cash on there. And he goes, oh, that's all right. And the bloke had a pay wave. And Nibbler knew he had a pay wave. I just tapped the card. I was like,
that's good,
yeah, he was a practical joker, one of the great men. So,
that's
all
good.
the best, Nib.
Yeah, that is. Oh, does he go to Adelaide or Port Adelaide? Is your prediction?
No idea. Go to Adelaide, I assume. A bit more cash.
Yeah, you'd think Adelaide would be forking out more. Righto, Jakey Headley, absolutely loving the pod, but we want more footy. Talk more footy, lads. There you go, Jakey. Well,
We'll do that right now.
We'll get into that with 3 questions, but that's what's coming your way. And to be honest, Jakey, it's great, but we enjoy talking a bit of rot. But now that it's getting to the business end, we will talk footy, and we'll be taking it seriously because we're about to put the punishments back on track and put a few multis up every week. And it's going to get hot, and we might even get a couple of special guests in here, mate. I reckon Malky and
Harmsy.
Even Harmsy. Well, is Harmsy alive? I haven't actually seen or heard of Harmsy.
Malky's not coming on here.
Surely Malky comes on.
$1. You need to pay
Does he?
him. Yeah, he loves it back.
Go on, give what else about Malky? Because he's feeding in these questions. Would he not come on for free?
Mate. He doesn't need it. He doesn't leave the house for more than $2,000.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable.
Is he frugal?
Oh, Jesus. Fruit.
Oh, Malky.
The only bloke to go to the pub with $100 and come back with 102. He's just
no way.
Yeah, he's bad. Anyway,
who would win in a boxing match between Traino and the Piggy? From Geordie 17 inch. How's the name on Geordie 17 inch? And here's the question: who do you think? You got an absolute big brute over here.
25 kegs on him.
I said to a mate the other day, as I'm going to the gym, I look like a rake. He goes, a rake would be an understatement. I said, that's a bit rough.
I'm trying, yeah.
I'm trying to get in the gym, mate. All right, last one, Ryan. What are your All-Australian locks?
Oh, there's so many of them, man.
Just give one or two.
Lockie Neal.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse Hogan.
That was my one. That was my lock. Okay, do one more.
Kerno will probably
give me a midfielder. Another mid.
Oh, Warner.
Yeah. Heaney's probably another one. Does Heaney make it?
Yeah, Heaney will make it. Yeah, Heaney's another one.
Has to make it.
So, mate, you could nearly have the Sydney midfield all in there, and Goulden will be on the wing.
Yeah, we probably forgot to talk about them last week. We're going to talk about them now. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Talking a lot of pump. Let's get on the footy.
Well, thank you for everyone that wrote in. We've dedicated that chunkier segment to you all because we know that we haven't been able to do it for about a month with all this Spotify technical issues with the comments. But let's dive into this week. Pig, run us through all the games and give out a tip on the footy and what you think's going to happen. And I'll get the ladder up right here.
I don't know if I'm going to go through all the games. There's a few dead rubbers, man. And
there won't be because there's some implications.
All right, so we'll talk about the Friday night one. Essendon versus Sydney here at Marvel. Essendon have to win. Still don't think they'll make finals. I'm going to tip Essendon.
Same.
Yeah, I like that.
Dyson Heppel playing?
I think Sydney's last 5 minutes or whatever it was is just undone how bad they've been going for 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And they've really embarrassed us.
Essendon's been responding to some losses.
Yeah, so I'm going to go Essendon at home, back against
Is Dyson Heppel playing? By the way, Dyson,
yeah.
Congratulations.
Give him a shout out. What a great man. I was drafted with Dice. Me and him were drafted at the same time. And he's had some horrific injuries, been through heaps of stuff, and what a great leader of that club. And one of the great blokes.
Oh.
Like, what you see is what you get with him. He was, he's as, a country he came across early. He's still just as humble as ever. Always gave back to the fans and just ripping teammates. So
you're going to miss a lot with him not being inside that locker room. I'd imagine that he just rolled in and was just always happy and everyone. Yep. And as much as it's been tough, he's always the guy that would provide a lot of positivity around the club, and losing a leader like him, it's going to be tough to replace.
Very rarely saw him lose his cool. I don't think he ever did. He was always so measured. Like, even if he was frustrated, he went at it with an angle of understanding, and he never would spray anyone unless it was really He never actually. I'm going to say he never did, but he's a good teammate and a great leader, good person. So
yeah, well, I hope that they can do something. I hope the Dons fire up. Sydney, they still need to keep winning because they're on top, but they need to win the next 2 just to secure that first. All right, well, let's move through. If Essendon's going to win that, you'd think Stringer or someone has to kick 4. They need to do something. That forward line could stretch Sydney's defence. That's what I will say. So I'll be looking for. Langford needs to respond. Last week he didn't do much for me, and I think he's one of their best players, so one of their better players. So expecting something big from him. Next game, talk to us.
Suns versus my mob, the Dees. And you know what I'm doing? I'm going to try to pick all the roughies this week. So I'm going the Dees back after a shocking week.
Mate.
The Suns.
The Dees this year. I
don't think they'll win. Let's just start with that.
They were pretty solid last week.
Yeah, I know. Against Port, who,
Can they get it done in the dewy conditions
I
at
think
people
they
first?
They won't have Maisie, I don't think. I don't think he'll be back.
The big bruiser should be on ice. What's the point of playing the last game?
I don't think so. Yeah, I agree. I think the implications of another broken rib and potentially punctured lung will impact.
Yeah, no.
Impact the off season, which will impact next year. I just think it's not worth it. So I'd be surprised if they play him again this year. It's up to him probably. He probably wants to. Might have that dog in him and want to play. I'm going to tip the Dees. Bit of a dead rubber. No finals for anyone. People's first stadium. It's always made me.
$3 they are at the moment. Suns $1.38.
All right, what do you got?
I'll
Suns.
take the Suns. I think they've been good at home.
Giants, Freo at Engie Stadium or Engie.
One of the biggest games of the
I'm
round.
going Freo, man. They were disappointing last week.
Yeah, Freo have been disappointed the last couple of weeks, and they will respond. And I think the Giants are humming. I will be tipping this is the Matty DeBoer Cup.
Matty DeBoer Cup. That's great.
I mean, this is tough for me. I don't know who to go. I want them both to win, but you'd think the way they're going, you just pick the team that's at home and the team that's on top of the ladder. Third v sixth. But it would not shock me if Freo win. But I'll be putting Giants down.
Pies versus Brisbane on Saturday Arvo at the G. I'm going to go Pies, man.
Brizzy off a loss. I like a team that bounced. Grand final rematch. People forget that. This game would normally be hyped more. Brisbane for me.
Here's one for you. Will they sign? Will they sign Pendles? Are they keeping Sidebottom?
You'd think so because you'd be talking about a send-off game next week if they don't make finals.
Yeah. So,
and I think he's still in their top.
He's in their best team. He's actually playing
top
right
10.
this year.
Would you say top 10? Top 15?
Yeah, he's in top 15.
I reckon he's one of the most reliable players they've got on the outside. Him and Will Hoskin-Elliott.
It's just because they're going to play finals. Are they going to think that they might have to?
I reckon they're in a window next year 100%. With the same player. They wouldn't have signed Pendles is humming, but I reckon he's got more. I reckon he's got one or two more.
Yeah,
he might not want to keep playing. But
he'll want to keep playing.
You reckon he'll play till the
wheels fall off?
He loves footy still. Actually, you know what? He'll play paddock. How long do you reckon he'll play paddock for?
He'll go out of the country where he's from and just
back to Shep.
Just rack him up.
Roll around till he's 50.
Yeah, he'll have zero hair whatsoever by then.
Give a tip on these games as well. I'm going to go Brisbane, and I'm going to say that
McStay for 2.
Lockie Neal will have 35.
Well, they don't tag, do they?
They don't tag.
Yeah,
I reckon it'll be a possession fill up.
Yeah, Dacos and Neal just 35 each, although Dunkley might go to him.
No, he normally goes to the bigger mids, yeah.
Port versus Adelaide, big game.
Oh, this is big,
I'm going Adelaide here, man.
The showdown.
And I genuinely think they'll win after
They beat Port last time. Port's home game, isn't it?
Yes. Doesn't matter that much.
I'm going to take Port. I reckon you normally go 1-1. Both teams are, I think Port, tell you what, Adelaide's had a stinker right this year. They're sitting 15th. They were tipped to play finals. I did anyway. I thought they'd be finals. I thought they'd be in the 8th to 7th spot. But they're playing great footy. And if they can finish their year beating Port Adelaide, I reckon they would be very happy with themselves. There's only 2 rounds to go. You could pop into the off-season knowing that you've beaten Port twice that year. Their members and fans can live with that.
I'm going Adelaide, man. I just think they played really well last week. $2.70 odds. I like it.
I'll take Port. 1-39, maybe even 1-24.
Saints versus the Cats. I'm going the Cats. Cats were good. Danger was so good last week, man. He was back.
He's just started to turn it on business end.
I got Jeremy. He's going to get Wilkie. Wilkie's pretty good.
What's the go here? Why the Cats $1.52? This is if we were doing a 12-week challenge, I'd be putting the Cats in. Why are they $1.52?
Well, I think the Saints were good last week. They
played Richmond.
That's a good point, man. Who else? Yeah, that's nearly the lock of the week.
Yeah, we might have to have a little look at something like that privately.
Dogs and North. Dogs are winning that. Sorry, North fans. Not even going into it. Hawks versus the Tigers. Tigers are already on holidays. Hawks are absolutely flying.
A couple of fill-ups there with the Fords, isn't it?
And then West Coast versus Carlton, and West Coast are favourites.
$1.86 to $1.98.
I'm going Carlton. I think Carlton are more reliable. Actually, they're not reliable at all. What am I talking about?
What are you talking about?
I'm going Carlton. I just think West Coast can't win 3 in a row. That's what my head's saying.
What your head's saying?
That's my logic. And that's, you know what? That's why I'm nugget at tipping.
But why? Tell me why Carlton can win
They
this.
have to win.
Yeah, but they had to win last week and they got beat by 70 odd. They had obviously a lot of injuries. Once all the injuries happened, they were cooked. Mate, they've lost Mackay, they've lost Charlie, they've lost Saad, they've lost Boyd, they've lost. I could name another 6.
They win.
How are they going to win without these players? They got a good midfield, and they got Wiedering at full back. They got no full forward or no centre half forward.
They win. Don't know. Don't have an answer for you. They just find a way.
We do something about this one.
No punishments. Not betting. Can't be bothered with it anymore.
You're going to get some punishments coming your way. That 1,500 calories, he's been spraying me about that. He did 200 in the gym today. He's carrying on like a pork chop. Well, there you go. Rounded it out. This is going to be an exciting finish.
Who you got? So you obviously got West Coast.
I think West Coast can win just because of the injuries. And I reckon they're humming and their home crowd advantage and they're playing to build. And
it's nearly too good to be true if they win 3 in a row. That's what
I reckon they got a pretty good list at the
It's
moment.
like when you see 3, like in roulette, if you see too many reds and too many
I reckon
blacks.
you go 3 to 4 and then you go, I'm getting on the other
that's
number.
what I'm doing. I'm like, they've had 2 wins.
They get 3. I reckon they can get 3.
It's not roulette. There's no 50-50 odds for West Coast.
Mate, we should just back roughies this week.
That's what I'm doing.
Righto, JT_13 did say, let's make some bold finals predictions, set some punishments in advance. Punishments, we're going to do them for finals, so let's save the punishments because me and Pig are going to do 4 weeks of punishments with our finals games and bets and all that kind of stuff.
I'm calling it we won't even get punished because we're just going to win.
Well, I'm calling that's a great prediction. I like that.
That's my prediction right there.
like
Very bold as well.
Very bold.
You wanted a bold one?
Give me a bold prediction. Who's going to play in the grand final?
Geelong and Brisbane.
Geelong versus Brisbane.
Yep.
Who
you got? Who you got?
I've got.
Who you got for the Brownlow? And who's going to win? I
reckon Lachie Neale is trending.
I think so.
Under the radar.
Yeah, I think he's going to win 3. Who's won 3? There's obviously
couldn't tell you.
Bobby Skilton, I think, won 3.
Dacos would be. What I've noticed when Fifey missed out the first time and then he won his next one, I reckon his year was better when he missed out. I reckon Dacos last year had an amazing year and he was stiff. And then this year, he's had a great year as well, but they haven't won as many games. But I would not be surprised if Dacos wins it.
I hope he does because I think last year he should have won it.
Bontempelli was all the hype and Heaney early in the year.
He's closed down. Heaney obviously can't win it.
I'm going to say it's going to be the GWS Giants taking on the Brisbane Lions. I have this feeling about them two playing off.
I just think Geelong are going to kick.
It would be good to have a Victorian. It would be good to have a Victorian side in there. It's pretty crazy that there's Western Bulldogs, Hawthorn, and Geelong, but Geelong's the only top 6 side outside of that. It's all interstate teams.
It's a killer for the Victorians.
Righto, it's time for our KPI Construction Stop That. And this week, it's been a tough one, Pig. We've gone through a lot of Stop That's, and we're trying to keep it pretty positive around here, but I've just got one. It's more of like, I don't know, it's a bit hypocritical because I have had a little puff one before, but only once or twice. But people that smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, stop that.
Just, they stink. I've found out they're really expensive, speaking to someone, asking them why they still smoke them, because there's obviously vapes and whatnot out there. But just, I went for a run the other day and I had to run past a few people smoking and it just stinks. And I just thought... Just
Surely
running
no
around
one's smoking a dart around
the tan.
No, you can't be having a durry while people are running laps.
And it was just like, I didn't think people still do that. And there's nothing wrong with it if they, if they can do what they want. But for me, 2024,
get the digital dart.
Get something that doesn't stink.
Don't get the analog cigarettes. Get the digital ones these days. They smell at least nice. Yeah. You don't know that anyone's been there. Yeah, so, stop that. It's huge.
And tell you what, the people that smoke in their car, I was driving the other day and they had the windows, like one window down, but the rest up, but just the dart in the car and then the scent all the way into the clothes. We all know someone that's like that, but no good.
We were lacking this week, but that is a good one because my mother-in-law smokes darts. My mum used to smoke, and it's just that just seeps into your clothes, and it's what we call pooch.
It is. So
anyway,
just a little hit up there for people still smoking the durries. Maybe just put them away and get on the vapes or do something else. But not condoning that. But thank you everyone that tuned in this week. We're a bit longer this week, but we wanted to answer all your questions. So thanks to everyone that wrote them in. on Instagram. And good luck. Hope your side's still in the final 8. It's going to be a cracking finish to the year. We'd love to know who you're going to tip. But we'll see you next week on Aces Premiership Countdown. This episode is proudly sponsored by KPI Construction Services. When it comes to construction sites, reliability and efficiency are key. That's where KPI Construction Services shines. With a single call, KPI provides a range of essential services, which includes labour hire, crane hire, and traffic control. KPI is a progressive business with modern plant and equipment across all of their operating states. Focusing on innovation and to avoid the business drifting is always front of mind. We are proud to be aligned with and have such a reputable company partnering with the show. Aces, I know I always go on about the RIXXs, but I got huge news. We have all our styles and colours restocked on the website right now. Get online, grab some sunglasses at rixxeyewear.com.au right now and use our little discount code ACES if you want a 20% discount code on the house.